Welcome to one another yoga with me. Sit in a comfortably cross-leg position as usual. Closing your eyes. Bringing ourselves into this mat. Remember, you can sit it as this is a 75 minutes Hatha yoga flow for beginner to intermediate level. Follow along. Yoga is a union. All through the practice, we are trying to bring our breath, our thoughts, and our physical body into one aspects. You're always welcome to stop the practice anytime you feel anything complicated. Go into a child pose, Shavasana. There are many videos for you. Now bring your hands in prayer position in front of your heart. Set an intention for the practice, for the day, for the evening. We are going to chant Om, inhaling. Beautiful. Set an intention. Visualize the intention. Feel the love radiating from your heart to the rest of the world. Release your hands to your thigh. Gently open your eyes if you like to. We are going to stretch the neck by bringing our chin to the chest. Dropping to the right. Dropping your head completely back, opening the throat. And the left. Continue 3 to 4 times in this direction and 3 to 4 times the opposite in your own speed. Keep your eyes closed if you feel like it. Keep your eyes open if you feel like it. Imagine whenever we are opening the body, we are inhaling. Whenever we are closing the body, we are exhaling. I have done this video before, and for the better quality of audio, I am doing a recording later. So maybe you will see that I am talking a bit different than that is happening in the video. I am trying my best to give you the best quality. Now go for the opposite side. Three to 4 times. Every inhalation, we are opening the body. Every exhalation, we are closing the body. This is the only version that you need to remember about breathing. All through the practice, remember this simple technique about breathing. Beautiful. Once you have done, we are going to go into the next stretching and warm up. Normally we take 10 to 15 minutes of warm up. Now bring your right hand and push your head towards left side and resist it using your left neck. So whatever hand is pushing to the opposite side, you are resisting using the opposite side of the neck to increase the strengthening aspect of that neck. I always try to stay for 4 to 5 breaths. Strengthening of a neck is an important aspect to increase, to keep our any pain from your neck, all the pain that we have because of the bikes and looking at the computer and our mobile. So bring the forehead in front of you, push the head back and resist using the back of your neck. Chin gently tucked in. And this is the most important, because with the computer we are always sending our neck forward. By pushing the neck back, we are trying to go and correct the back of our spine. Remember, our neck is also part of the spine. And the opposite, interlock behind your head, push the head forward and resist using the throat muscles. Remember, there are a lot of small muscles around our neck, and this exercise helps us to strengthen the entire neck region. I suggest to do at least 3 to 4 times minutes of this exercise. The last but not the least, we are going to give ourselves a gentle head stand by bringing both hands on top of your head. Gently press the head down. This is exactly what happens when you do a headstand. You are massaging your head, giving pressure to your hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is a small organ inside of our brain that balances many, that is essential, that health of that organ is very essential, and we don't have to go into a headstand to achieve that benefit. You can gently press your head at the top using your hands and gain the same benefit. So if you are not into a headstand, it is perfectly fine. We just got all the benefits of a headstand. Next, we go into warm up of the wrist. You can see that I spend at least 10 to 15 minutes of warm up, 30 to 40 minutes of asanas, and last 10 to 15 minutes again we go for relaxing and cooling down. Fingers facing up, down, up, down. This stretches and strengthens our forearm. Palms facing up or rotating from your shoulders. When the palms facing up, open your fingers, and the palm faces down. Close your fingers and make a fist. That activates all the muscles of your arms and fingers and hands. Beautiful. Bend your hands, keep it on your shoulders. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, closing the chest. Every inhalation we are opening our body, all the exhalation we are closing the body. While exhaling, when we close, it becomes small. Remember this. And the opposite, 3 to 5 times. Everything that we do is to have no specific numbers, but you decide how many numbers is good for you. See that I've gone out for doing something. Now I'm back. Rotating, keep rotating your shoulders, shoulder blades. We are going to interlocking your fingers, open your back, serratus scapula, side to side, and gently move the hands up and try to bring the hands behind your ears at one point. Inhale, chin up. Exhale, chin comes down. Hand comes down. One more. Inhale, chin up. Exhale, chin comes down. Hand comes down. One last time. Inhale, chin up. Try to bring the hands behind your ears. You can see that my pectoral muscles are also opening. Chin down. Exhale, hand comes down. Beautiful. We are going to go into Gomukhasana hand. Right hand goes up, left hand comes from the underneath, interlocking your fingers if you have this possibility. Otherwise, I just shown you how to do the bit beginner version. Inhale, lifting the sternum. We are also stretching our arms, triceps, my chest muscles, and also we are going for a gentle back bend. You always stay for 5 long breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Of course, obviously, we are going to fall forward to open our lumbar back, lumbar spine. Gently falling forward. You can see that I keep my arms in Sphinx pose. Don't try to curve your back. Try to open the chest, chin down, and try to go whatever is possible. We are at the beginning of the practice, so don't worry if you cannot go all the way down. Walk your hands back and the opposite side. Left hand goes up, Right hand comes from the underneath, interlocking your fingers to the back. Inhale, lifting your chest up, sternum up, opening our chest, back, shoulders, scapula, triceps of the other hand, and breathing for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Remember, you are going to keep the interlock if possible and try to fall forward. It is because we already done the forward bending. You can try to go if this is possible. If this is not possible, release the hands and do the same as last time. Opening the lumbar back. Remember, and we stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Inhale, gently coming up. We are going to go for eagle hands. Right hand comes under, left hand comes from the up, and we are going to bring the both palms facing each other, opening the scapula, serratus, deltoids. Don't worry if you don't know the muscle. Any muscle, we call this back muscle. It is different names, different levels, different layers. You will learn it as we go along with the series. And we always try to stay for 3 to 5 breaths. And obviously, whatever hand was up, it goes down, and the hand that was down goes up. All through the practice, if you are not able to stay in your in a comfortable cross leg position, you can always move your legs or stay in a block or a cushion. This is perfectly fine. I'm not a very big fan of blocks or cushions. So yeah, now we are going to open our legs, warm up our legs, release your legs, gently go side to side, rotating your ankle, inside to outside, outside to inside. I'm trying to show more angles. You are going to bend both legs, interlocking your hands, and try to bring our hands behind between your knees and bring the legs together, opening our back muscles one more time. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Take your time to come out of the pose, and then we are going to go for a gentle back bend. Bring the hands just behind your hips and lift yourself up 3 to 4 times up, and the last time we are trying to stay stable. We can all, if this is not available for you, you can use both arms. Staying stable for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Gently coming down, and the opposite side. You always remember, we always go equal both sides. Left hand just goes to back to the behind of your back. Using that arm, push yourself up. And we stay there, lifting our hips up, down, up, down, and staying there for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bandha Konasana, opening our hip muscles. Butterfly. Bring your heels as close as possible and relax your shoulders. Go for butterfly. You are going to go for cradling the baby on the right side. Try to keep the back muscle, spine as straight as possible. Try to be on the sitting bone. Inhale and exhale, opening your hip muscle by rotating your hip to both sides. Remember, to do the opposite. You can see what muscle is being opened. Beautiful. You are going to gently open our extend. You are going to go for half Upavishta Konasana. You are going to, you remember, we are opening the lumbar back. This is an extension, so that we are going step by step, warming up step by step, and enjoying going into the poses, enjoying working on the poses. Always remember, this is important. We cannot just, okay, I have only half an hour and I have to do this poses. No, even if you have half an hour, take at least 10 minutes to warm up your body. Your body doesn't know whether you have only half an hour or not, so it has to warm up. All the muscles, tendons, ligaments, everything needs to be open before you use it for a bit of a stronger practice. You remember, you see, now we are going to send the opposite. You are going to catch the toe of the same leg and bring the other hand to the inner thigh of the opposite leg, opening we are going for a gentle twist of your spine, deltoids and chest being open. If you are not in a position to hold your big toe, you can catch your calf muscles. And we stay there for 4. Correct anatomical position. Try to keep the toes gently pointed up. 3, 2 and 1. Send the head first. Release the hands from the inner thigh. And we are going to go for another stretch, interlocking your fingers behind your wide part of your foot and stretch your hamstring. Try to stay in your sitting bones as much as possible. You can use one hand to straighten your leg if that is possible, that is needed. Try not to arch back. Try to go as much as possible. We are at the beginning of the practice, so if you are not able to go deeper, it is perfectly fine. Try to keep the chin, bring the chin towards your knee if you have this possibility. For 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Beautiful. Releasing the leg, and we are going to go for the other leg. Ardha Upavishta Konasana. Remember the half full split. Exhale, fall forward. You can see that my toes are pointing up, my knees up, my thigh engaged, glutes in, navel in. We are kind of using our body's own protecting mechanism to protect our muscles. We don't want to be like a rubber. We want to be in control of our muscles. That is when we develop strength and stretching of the muscles. Otherwise, we will be stretching and we can tear a ligament or tendons. Always remember this. Now catch the big toe. Now bring the other hand to the inner thigh. Go for a twist and look back. Look behind your shoulders for 4, 3, 2 and 1. Beautiful. Whenever you feel you have done, you can always stay for longer breaths. And whenever you feel you have done, release the hands from the inner thigh. Now that was a long breath. Maybe I'm breathing for more. Send the vision first. Release the hand. Now we are going to go for the stretching of hamstring. Remember, the knees needs to be straight but doesn't have to be straight. You can gently work on it. Feel the stretch in your hamstring. You can also feel the stretch on your serratus, scapula, triceps, arms, fingers, the entire upper body is also getting a very good stretch depending upon how flexible you are. So don't worry if I say something and you don't feel in that muscle. It is perfectly fine that you don't feel that muscle there. Beautiful. Now we have stretched our whole body. You are going to go for Indian squat, Malasana. Open the legs to the width of your mat, or if this is too much, go on to your toes. If you are not that much flexible with your calf muscle, you can also try to keep the leg open, but I prefer the correct anatomical position is toes pointing up. Use your arms to send your upper body up, and then use your arms to open your hips so that your hips and legs are in line with each other. And we are going to stay there for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Release the hands just before your legs. We are going to stretch our hamstring even more by straightening the leg. Your palms are stuck to the mat. So if you cannot keep your palms onto the mat, then release the palms into your fingers or completely come out. This ensures that your concentration on your hamstring. Drop your head completely so that your head can stretch your spine for as long as possible, 3 to 7 breaths. The more you stay in poses like this, especially in standing forward bend, more stretch you will find in your hamstring, your spine, your lumbar back. Everything works perfectly good in this pose. If your palm cannot be on the mat, you can always go on to your finger tips, or release the hands completely from the mat. This is one of the best asanas to do as soon as you wake up in the morning to increase the supply of blood into our face and our brain. By increasing the blood supply in our face, we are getting the yoga glow or the youth effect. That's another reason people who practice yoga, they increase the flow of blood and they can stay younger, gently coming out one vertebra at a time as a rag doll. Beautiful people. I'm very happy that we are going to do this. And then what we are going to do, we are going to open the leg to the width of your mat. Because I'm in the other side, I'm correct. You are going to sit in Gajendra Asana. Push your hips as much back as possible. Try to keep the hips as low as possible and chest between your thighs. And you see that my elbows are completely touching each other and my upper body is parallel to the mat. Very good for strengthening your lower hamstrings, glutes. We stay there for 5, 4, 3. A very good warm-up exercise. You stay there for 1 minute and you can see that you're already sweating a lot. Now stretch your hands up like a tusks of an elephant for 4, 3, 2 and 1. Without locking your knees, gently coming up. Open the legs a bit more wider. Maybe you are going just away out of your mat, or you correct your mat in such a way. Exhale, fall forward. We are going to catch the opposite toes or opposite calf muscles, and we are going to lift our arm that is in the front and look under that armpit, opening the oblique muscles. Catching the toes, ankle, whichever works, adjusting the width of your leg. Do anything. The point is to have stretch in your lower oblique. This happens when you are able to twist and look under your armpit. So if you start doing this once or twice, then you can start feeling. Now reverse the angle of reverse your hand and go for the oblique stretch on the other side. You see, in this I was not able to hold one of my toes, which is perfectly fine. You can correct it in such a way that at some point you can keep holding. The point is to gently twist and look up your armpit to stretch your lumbar spine. Beautiful people. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Releasing yourself, gently coming up in ragdoll. Open your legs even more wider, almost to a meter point 2. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, flex forward. Prasarita Parshvakonasana. You can see that. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. Keep weight on your toes. Reverse your fingers facing away from you and walk your fingers away from you, trying to bring your head towards the mat. And we stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Beautiful. Inhale, head up. Don't come as high as possible. Inhale, always halfway head up to neutralize the pressure in our head. Exhale. You are going to keep the right hand down and release the left hand up for a twist. And try to look at your thumb the thumb that is on the air, or if your neutral neck, or looking down. Don't have any pressure on your neck. And we are going to stay there for 4 to 5 breaths. Keep weight on your toes. Now we are going to bring the hand that is in the air to the inner thigh of the opposite leg, and then we are going to now the other side. Left leg, left hand stays down and right hand comes up for the half twist. You can see that my lumbar spine is really getting twist, and we stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are going to go back with the right hand down, left hand up. This time the left hand comes to the inner thigh of the opposite leg, and the hand that was in the ground goes to the ankle of the opposite leg, going for a bit deeper twist. And we stay there for as long as possible for 5. Keep weight on your toes. Most importantly, I come out to check my students. You don't have to do that. Staying and twisting to look up. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Coming down. Keep the head looking down, and the opposite side. We are keeping the head in a conditioned place so that the blood pressure doesn't fluctuate too much. If you have high blood pressure and low blood pressure, you can feel some dizziness while you move your head up and down frequently. You can see that I am twisting as much as possible. If you are not able to come into your inner thigh, grab your fabric or keep the hand up. Both are perfectly fine. There is always a modification. Some asanas you can do and some modifications. Some asanas you have to do modification. Please acknowledge and accept where we are. Inhale, halfway head up. Exhale, inhale, hands on our hips. Exhale, coming up. Beautiful. People, we are going to go for toes sumo squat. When I bend my leg, my knee is on top of my ankle, my pelvis tucked in, glute squeezed, and try to go as deep as possible. You can also go for an eagle hand like what I am doing. You can do whichever hand is perfectly fine. We are going to stay for a few breaths on one side, gently come up and change the hand on the other side. If you cannot keep the eagle hand, just keep in namaskar, which is perfectly fine. Change of hand, and we are going to go for spider pose. You can see that I'm pushing my knees out by using my elbow. My spine is completely straight and parallel to the mat. My hips are a bit higher than it should be. You can drop your hips a bit more lower, like a spider. 5, 4, 3, 2. Without locking your knee, gently coming up. Correct the legs, toes pointing forward. Inhale, halfway head up. Exhale, full way head up. Beautiful people. You are going to go for one more Prasarita Parashvakonasana. Inhale, open your arms, interlocking your fingers, wide part meeting each other. Inhale, open your chest, push your shoulders back, opening the chest. Inhale, head up, and exhale, falling forward. You can always open the leg for a meter, meter point 2. You decide what is good for you. Again, there is my dog, Kita. She always comes and checks whether I am doing my yoga correctly. You can see that she has 3 legs and a half a leg that hangs around. She is a rescue dog. I don't think I rescued her and she is rescuing me. Beautiful people. Gently coming up. We are going to open the leg a bit more wider, preparing ourselves for the next asana. Inhale, opening both arms. Right leg goes out for hips parallel to the long edge, arms parallel to the long edge, going for triangle pose. If you can catch the toes, please catch the toes. It is not a must. Feel the stretch in your obliques. Five to 7 breaths of your own time. The hips are parallel to the long edge of the mat. Feel the stretch in your obliques. Again, if you cannot hold your toes, gently release keep the hands on your shin, knee, wherever it is possible. But try not to collapse your hips. Inhale, coming up. Bring this leg in. Open the leg out. Correct your hips. Slide your hand, holding your big toe. You can see where the stretch should happen and the hips facing up. You're looking at the thumb or looking at the bottom leg. Here in this side, you can see that I keep my hand on my shin, on my ankle. Five to 7 breaths. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. From there, you are going to go for the twisted triangle. You see that my hips are parallel to the short edge. I am correcting my back leg in such a way. The front leg is perpendicular to the short edge and opposite arm goes to the outside of my front foot. If that is not possible, you can keep on the foot or to the inside. You decide which is good for you. Twisted triangle pose. You see, you can keep it outside, on top or to the inside, whichever is perfectly fine. And remember the good benefit of the pose is the massage. Inhale, swing your hands coming up. Exhale, you see I'm correcting my back leg. Both legs are 90-degree, engaging both legs. All the flat part, white part of my both feet are on the mat. I'm looking at the thumb that is on the air. If that is not possible, looking in front or looking down. Any kind of vision is perfectly fine. Remember your bandha. Especially in a pose like this, bandha helps us to go deeper. Inhale, coming up. Exhale. You are going to go for one more sumo squat. Remember the opposite side of Eagle hands. If eagle hands is not available, keep your hands in Namaskar. Go as deep as possible. Remember your bandha adductor muscles, the inner groin muscles are getting a very nice stretch. Stay 3 to 5 breaths. In my camera, it looks like my legs and also you see that I am going on my toes. Inhale, arms up without locking your knee. Straighten, correct the toes facing forward and then correct the legs. Toes touching, heels touching. Toes always open the leg into a V. You are going to go for the next asana. Skandasana. Ensure that the toes are pointing up. Feel the stretch in your entire quads. If you are not feeling stable, release the hands to one side or both sides. Keep the toes as high as possible. And if you have a possibility to go for twisting and interlocking the fingers to go for a twist, you are welcome to do so. Again, it is not mandatory. Skandasana is a bit stronger pose, so if you are not feeling perfectly good, you can skip this pose. You always try to stay. If you are not interlocking the hands, you can keep the hands in Namaskar or hands can be down. You can either keep the hands in prayer position to go to the other side or release the hands to the floor and push yourself to go up. Stretching the adductor muscles of the other leg. Again, wherever is your hand position, depending upon your stability. If you are able to interlock your fingers as much as possible for 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. You can use your hands in such a way that you feel stability. Remember asana, sthiram sukham asanam. Without the stability, you don't go anywhere. Beautiful. Star pose. Both arms up, both legs facing out, head up, 5-pointed star. 2 limbs, 2 legs, and 1 head. Taking all the energy from the world and bringing it to the ground. You are like a conduit. We are just an instrument in the hands of the divine. This pose helps us to recognize this. Correcting your leg. Bring the toes touching, heels touching. Go to the head of the mat. If you are not at the head of the mat, inhale, arms up, arch back. And staying in arched back, use your Mula Bandha to protect your lumbar spine. Exhale, flex forward. Inhale, right leg goes back, opening your right psoas. Tuck the toe in, lift the back toe up. Front leg is 90 degree. We stay in this psoas stretch for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tuck the back toe, lift the knee up, other leg goes back into a plank. You see, I'm correcting my hips. This is kind of okay. The back leg, your heel is on top of your toe. Front limbs, your shoulder is on top of your wrist. Dropping your knee, chest and chin. Ashta Anga Namaskaram. 8 parts of our body touching the floor. Slide yourself into a baby cobra. Back of your foot on the mat. Try to keep the legs as close as possible. Tuck the toe in. Lift the hips up. Adho Mukha Svanasana. downward facing dog of the practice. It's one of the first downward dog of the practice. So go for a walk. We're almost more than off the class. So you don't have to have only downward facing dog as a yoga practice. There are many variations. Now we are going to go for the other side. Right leg goes forward, opening the left psoas. You can see that my back leg is completely open. If that is not possible, keep the toes tucked in. My elbows are straight, eye of the elbow facing forward. Exhale, other leg forward, drop the head completely, trying to bring the palms or fingers touching the mat. Inhale, arms up, arch back. Exhale, relax. Other side, inhale, arms up, arch back. Exhale, flex forward. Inhale, left leg back. Holding your breath. Don't hold your breath, holding the breath only in the plank. Here we go again, cookie is back. My plank is not good. Correcting your plank, knee, chest, chin. Cobra. This cobra is not perfectly fine. Exhale, inverted V. Because I have a wall in front of you, so I kind of modified my pose. Be mindful about this kind of small nuances. It's kind of nobody is helping me to do the video, so I'm trying my best to give the most quality and correct, but sometimes it's beyond my control. Thank you for your cooperation. Exhale, head down. Inhale, arms up, arch back. Exhale, relax. Beautiful. One more time, opening the leg onto the long edge of the mat. We are going to go for pyramid pose. Correct your back leg in such a way. This is not pyramid, this is low lunge. So ensure that the front leg is 90 degree, back leg is 90 degree. When you stretch, you are going to go for the full stretch. And we stay there. This is low lunge. And I am just changing the direction. Bend the back leg, grab your back ankle, open your shoulders, open your chest, and try to stretch the quads of the back leg. Because of the stretch, you will feel that your knee and your quads of the back leg is stretched. The front leg is giving the necessary support. If you are not able to open your shoulders this much, you will not be in a position to hold the leg with both hands. It's perfectly fine. You can hold it with one leg also. Drop the leg, bring the opposite armpit to the outside edge of your front leg. You see that if you have a possibility to catch the other hand, please do so. Otherwise, just go for a namaskar or keep the hands in such a way. The most important thing about this pose is the massaging sensation of your body. Beautiful. Keep your breath as long and deep as possible. You're going to release this side, bring the hands to both sides of your front leg, push your hips back. You can see that my back hip is on top of my back knee, 90 degree, and my front leg is completely straight, and I'm trying to bring my upper body to the down part of my knee. I'm not hunching my back, my toes pointing up or in neutral position, correct anatomical position. Beautiful. I'm changing the direction to show you the other side. Breathe. Now push your hips back. Tuck the toe in, lift the knee up, send the other leg back. You are going to do the same on the other side. You remember, first is psoas stretch. Front leg is 90-degree. I care a lot about the psoas because we work a lot sit down, so our hips are not stretched perfectly. So psoas stretch is very important. Of all the big muscle groups we have, this is one important muscle group that we needed to work on. Bend the back leg, send the both arms, push your open your shoulders, open your chest, try to bring the heel as close as possible to your glutes and give yourself a very nice stretch of your quads. For 5, front leg is completely for the balance. You are going to bring the opposite armpit to the outside edge of your leg. If you have a possibility to bring that hand to catch the rest of your opposite hand, you are welcome to do so. If that is not possible today, it is also perfectly fine. Always remember this, what happens in your yoga mat is your only reality. So enjoy that reality, work on that reality, work slowly, steadily without getting any hurt, and then you will achieve your destination without any issue. We are not here to compete with anybody. Bring the hands to both sides of your front leg, push the hips back. You can see that my back leg is 90-degree and I'm trying to bring my upper body as low as possible and try to bring the chin, and we are staying there for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Inhale gently, head up. Exhale, bringing the leg back in all 4. Inhale cat. Exhale camel. Keep going. Inhale cat. Exhale camel. Inhale cat. Exhale camel. You are going to send the right leg back into tiger pose. Try to bring the knee as high as possible to your head. Exhale, release the leg up. You can see that I'm really keeping my hands straight and I'm trying to bring the knee as much as possible and open the knee when I'm going back 3 to 5 times. And I am bringing that leg to the back of my front leg to go into Gomukhasana leg. So what I did, I opened the knee, bent the knee to the back side so that I can come to a sitting position. My knees are not in line with each other. It needs to be in line, but I am slowly working on it because I have a tighter hip. Whatever knee is up, that hand comes to downstairs, other hand comes from upstairs. Bringing your hands in interlocking position and giving yourself a very nice stretch in Gomukhasana, happy cow face. Inhale, lifting the sternum. Remember, your bandhas always helps us all through the practice. Bandhas, bandhas, bandhas. Releasing the hands. Hand goes to catch both the foot. Inhale, head up, and exhale. Try to bring the chin towards your knee without lifting your glutes, buttocks from the mat. You can feel the stretch on the outside part of your legs, glutes, hamstrings, lumbar spine. Breathe. Releasing the hands in front of you, giving the palm, bringing our hip up, releasing the back leg to front leg, and we are going to go for the Gomukhasana on the other side, correcting your hips. Now straight, first we are going to go for the 5 tiger. This is a very good core workout. Now use that, bring that leg, open the leg out so that you can, both knee comes on top of each other. Push the hip down. Beautiful, people. Whatever leg is up, that hand comes down. The other hand comes from the upstairs and giving yourself a very nice stretch. Gomukhasana, happy cow face. Normally we stay 5 to 7 breaths. Always remember this. Trying to keep the interlock, or without the interlock we can try to fall forward, opening the opposite leg. Inhale, lifting the sternum, and exhale, try to bring the chin. Keep the hips onto the mat. Inhale, head up. Exhale, releasing the hands in front of you, walking your hands away from you. Fix the palms, push your hips up, send the leg back, and go for all four one more time. And go for no particular movement, relaxing your hips, hip joints. Just move here and there, right to right, left to left, in no particular order, relaxing your spine, back muscles, glutes, and every other muscle. We are going to go one more time in Indian squat, Malasana. This time, see if your toes are able to point forward. Push your knee open, warming up our wrist for Kakasana. Normally, even you are completely warm up before you go into handstands, because Kakasana is for all practical purpose is a handstand. You always warm up your wrist before you go into the pose. If you know what is Kakasana, you're welcome to go in. Otherwise, bend your elbow. Try to bring your knee on top of your triceps and lift your leg off the mat like I am doing in the pose. Kakasana, crow. You can also do one side of one side, both side. You decide what is good for you and what is beautiful for you. Breathe, breathe. Whenever you've finished, always come back, interlocking your fingers, release the strain in your ankle, into your wrist one more time. You can bring the palms facing in to out, out to in, whichever works good for you. And we are going to bring the weight on one of your leg and stretch the other leg. A very good core exercise, and also works very good on our glutes, legs. Again, you see I'm doing a different modification, which is good. If you can always release the hands into the mat. Remember this. Beautiful. Preparing ourselves for the sitting asanas. We are in the last 20 minutes of our practice. Toes pointing up, knees engaged. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, flex forward. Breathe. 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 Paschimottanasana, sitting forward bend. Very good for opening the hamstrings even more. Breathe. Breathe. Open the legs to the width of your mat. Bend your right leg. Bring it to the inner thigh of your left leg for Janu Shirasasana, head to toe pose. Inhale, arms up. You ensure twisting your upper body to this place on top of your thigh, and exhale, flex forward, feeling the stretch on your back. Breathe. 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 Inhale, head up. Exhale. You are going to catch the outside edge of the front foot using the opposite arm. The inside edge stays under, and we are trying to open our obliques. Remember, we did this standing at the beginning. Now we are going to do the same at sitting. If this is too much, the hand that is free on the mat can move around. Instead of the outside edge, you can grab your big toe, or if that is also too much, you can use a towel or something like that to grab. Breathe. 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 Very, very good stretch for your obliques. Janu Shirasasana on the other side. Inhale, head up. Exhale, catch the outside edge of the foot using the opposite arm, and we are going to send the opposite and other arm underneath you and give yourself a very nice and beautiful oblique stretch. Move the hand that is holding your foot in any angle that is good for you. The bent leg, try to push that knee towards the mat, opening our lower oblique even more. Gently coming out. Preparing ourselves